Iran claims strike on secret Israeli underground command facility. A new claim from Iran has sparked intense debate about the security of one of Israel's most secretive military locations. Iranian officials say their forces struck an underground wartime bunker beneath Israel's military headquarters in central Tel Aviv, a location believed to serve as a critical command center during major conflicts. According to the claim, the bunker sits beneath the Kirya compound, a heavily fortified military headquarters where senior leaders, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, would reportedly take shelter during wartime. Israeli authorities quickly sealed the surrounding area after the alleged strike, blocking cameras and declining to provide public details, which has fueled speculation about what may have occurred. The underground structure itself is not a myth. Reports indicate that the bunker was built with significant American support, including engineering expertise and advanced electromagnetic shielding designed to allow operations to continue even if communications and infrastructure above ground are destroyed. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has publicly named several targets during the ongoing conflict, including American military bases and key Israeli infrastructure such as Ben Gurion Airport. However, analysts say the most strategically important target mentioned by Iran is the military headquarters in central Tel Aviv. Most people assume the complex is simply an above-ground military installation with reinforced shelters below it. In reality, the Kirya district reportedly conceals an extensive network of underground command facilities constructed and expanded over decades. One of these installations is believed to be an electromagnetically shielded intelligence center located beneath central Tel Aviv. The facility was reportedly designed to survive electronic warfare attacks and maintain communications even if surface infrastructure is destroyed. Another installation, often referred to as the Fortress of Zion, is described as a deeper and more modern underground command center built directly beneath the headquarters. Reports from journalists who were once granted limited access described a multi-level command hub where military personnel monitored live operations on large, wall-mounted screens. During active conflict, thousands of soldiers reportedly work around the clock within these underground facilities. This type of infrastructure is precisely what Iranian officials claim their missiles were targeting. The credibility of the claim is partly tied to events from a previous conflict between Iran and Israel. During that earlier confrontation, ballistic missiles struck near a high-rise complex close to Israel's military command zone in Tel Aviv. The area was quickly sealed off and media access was restricted. Reports later indicated that the impact occurred very close to the Prime Minister's office. In the weeks following that strike, renovations reportedly began at nearby government facilities, though Israeli officials never confirmed whether the buildings had been damaged. Satellite imagery of the area has also been partially blurred on some mapping services, and street-level imagery around the location remains unavailable. Media coverage of that earlier incident appeared delayed, with some Israeli outlets publishing details only after photos had already circulated online. Because of that precedent, some analysts say Iran's latest claim that it targeted the same general area again cannot be dismissed outright, even though concrete evidence has not been publicly released. The broader conflict between Iran and Israel has escalated dramatically. Hundreds of missiles and drones have been launched during the fighting, with Iran claiming that many of its strikes were directed at Israeli targets while others were aimed at American military positions across the region. Several missiles have reportedly penetrated Israel's multi-layered air defense system and struck urban areas. While Israel maintains that its defenses intercept the vast majority of incoming threats, the confirmed impacts demonstrate that the system is not completely impenetrable. Among the weapons reportedly used in the conflict are advanced Iranian ballistic missiles capable of carrying large warheads and dispersing multiple submunitions over wide areas. Such weapons can transform a single strike into a broad-area attack, potentially damaging infrastructure above underground facilities, including ventilation systems, communications equipment, and access points. This capability is particularly relevant when targeting deeply buried command bunkers. While a traditional warhead would require a precise direct hit to damage such facilities, cluster-type weapons can saturate the surface area above them, potentially disrupting critical systems connected to the underground complex. At the same time, Israel has carried out its own strikes on Iranian underground facilities. Israeli forces have previously targeted command bunkers associated with senior Iranian leadership, using extensive intelligence mapping of underground corridors and command rooms before launching the attack. In that case, Israeli officials released footage and publicly confirmed the destruction of the facility. Iran, however, has not produced similar visual evidence for its claimed strike against Israel's underground infrastructure. Still, analysts caution that the absence of proof does not necessarily mean the event did not occur, particularly when the impact area has been sealed and information tightly controlled. Beyond the military dimension, the conflict is already producing serious global consequences. Disruptions to shipping routes in the Strait of Hormuz and damage to energy infrastructure in the Gulf region have driven oil prices sharply higher. Casualties have also mounted across the region, with civilian deaths reported in Iran and injuries and fatalities in Israel. Meanwhile, regional groups allied with Iran have joined the fighting, launching attacks from neighboring territories and expanding the scope of the conflict. A major political development inside Iran has added another layer of uncertainty. After the death of the country's supreme leader during the conflict, leadership passed to his son, who has now assumed wartime command. Iran's military leadership has pledged allegiance to the new leader, but questions remain about whether he can maintain strategic coordination under sustained military pressure. As the conflict continues, both sides appear to be targeting the other's most sensitive command structures buried beneath their cities. One side has publicly documented its strikes, while the other has tightly controlled information about the damage. What remains unclear is how either side intends to bring the war to an end, with missiles continuing to fall and underground command facilities becoming targets. The risk of further escalation remains high. Neither government has clearly defined what victory would look like, and neither can fully confirm what the other may be hiding beneath the rubble.